We're not paying our taxes in 2026. Theo Vaughn truly is asking the right questions. What are we paying our taxes for? Especially when the Pentagon has just failed its 8th annual review and audit. Billions in taxpayer dollars are unaccounted for, and it is the 8th time in a row that this has happened. Auditors say the department can't accurately track its assets and that there is poor record keeping that relies on outdated computer systems that don't work together. If only we worked together like Ilhan Omar works with the Somalians and works knowing well and good that she's in Congress fighting for the plights of Somalians, like she says so right here. Absolutely insane. I ain't paying my taxes this year. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not doing it.
But now there's some things that I don't like. I hope that you don't mind when I kill your vibe. Now there's some things that I don't like. I hope that you don't mind when I kill your hype. I know there's some things here and now.
There's no religion higher than the truth. Now, this phrase was popularized by theosophists in the 18 and 1900s, but they actually borrowed it from the Hindus. Now, this idea is one that reverberates throughout time and throughout cultures, so much so that it has cemented itself into being an archetypal metaphysical truth, for lack of a better word. In fact, a similar sentiment was stated by Jesus Christ when he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." That was stated in the Gospel of John. Earlier in the gospel, Christ says, "Before Abraham was, I am." Yahweh translates to I am and is supposed to mimic an inhale and an exhale, basically saying I am breath. There's a lot of things going on with it. I don't want to get into all of that. Now, this is really where we get Christ verbally saying that he is God. That's as close as he got to saying I am God, as he said, "Before Abraham was, I am." Yahweh, I am. That means he is. Interesting, blah, blah, blah. But he also says, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life." And the point of this video is discussing my ethos, which is essentially truth, and discussing the psyops that come along with seeking truth. In fact, I bet you within the first 45 seconds of this video, many of you are saying, "Yahweh was actually a storm god. I watched it on the Esoterica channel. On the Esoterica channel on YouTube, I actually saw that Yahweh's actually a storm deity. And he's actually the same thing." And this is my point entirely with this video. There's only one truth, even though there's 100,000 million different flavors of said truth. And my ethos is getting after what the truth is. So let's talk about it. I think one of the main reasons I want to make this video is because just frankly, how frustrated I personally am with the state of the West, the state of reality. Seeing how things are kind of unfolding is making me extremely disillusioned. And if I'm feeling disillusioned, I'm assuming you probably feel the same way. And it's not fair, it's not right, and it's just kind of at this point where it's almost like, what do we do? Because this distrust in not only the government, but just society as a whole, and I know we live in a society meme, he talking like we live in a society. I know, I get it, right? But it's cringe. Bro, that's so cringe. You're talking about society, cringe. But but on a serious note, that's where reality is. I said this 2 years ago. We are in a post-truth reality. It's not about the truth. It's about your shade of the truth, your flavor of the truth. And now, due to one really big figure in the sort of truther space, we now have people who are calling anyone who disagrees with them feds, bots, etc. It's frankly, such a slap in the face of the truth in general. Because if you create a environment where anybody who criticizes you is a fed, is a bot, is on the other side of the political aisle than you and your fans or whatever, that's such a disservice to just reality as a whole. Being called a quote-unquote Trump lackey for doing a video on Minnesota and on the fraud is insane, especially while in that same video, I literally criticized Trump and how much I dislike him, primarily because of his strong affinity for Brazil. It's just very strange, and it's all a part of something much bigger that many of you do not see. And it's a massive issue that I'm seeing of just so many people thinking everyone is an op, everybody's a fed, every Yahweh is actually a storm deity. I saw it on the Esoterica podcast. Don't you know that, dude? Don't you know? But understanding we are operating in a post-truth reality is key in order to see where we're at and to get closer to the truth, which is to get closer to God. Now, this idea of being in a post-truth reality stemmed from philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre, who wrote a book called Being in Nothingness. In Being in Nothingness, he basically says that objective reality is still interpreted subjectively. And because of this facet, subjectivity dictates the nature of reality. Basically, whatever you think about reality and the objective things that are happening in reality don't matter because it's whatever you think it is. And that's just talking about interpreting reality. This has nothing to even do with the fact that we are now finding out that your personal consciousness literally dictates the reality around you. This is not like a quantum consciousness thing. This is just a philosophy of Jean-Paul Sartre, who contributed to his work in queer theory and a ton of other stuff. He was a known pedophile. I go over all of this in my new video, The Hydra, which is going to be out soon, or it's probably out now if you're watching this not on... It's out. The Hydra, Patreon, go. But this all comes from a place, and it comes from the people who raised us, the boomers.
Wow, you wouldn't believe some of the kids that come in here. They're really spaced out. Last night this cat comes in and it goes, if anger is red and envy is green, what color is jealousy? And I mean, like, he's really spaced out. And, like, you just don't go around fucking people's heads up when they're spaced out. So I go, like, black, right? Because jealousy's poison. He goes, yeah, but it's got to be... He goes, yeah, but it's got to be something else than that. And I go, green, because after all, jealousy is like envy, right? Except that envy is over things and jealousy over people. And a lot of people treat other people as, you know, things. And he goes, wow, groovy, and he walks off. And, like, I never saw the cat. Another cat comes up and he asks me to tell him about his wild eyes.
His wild eyes? Did he have wild eyes?
Yeah, he was speeding. It's really groovy. And like all the people that come up here asking, you know, if we can page their freaked out friends. I mean, like right now I'm missing my sister. Like I lost her. She was on Mass. And like I lost her during Richie Haven's performance. And like, you know, like I got her tickets home. Like I haven't seen her since, you know. Sure she is. It's just that I'd like to see her, you know, so I can get home in time, because, like, she's got to be back Monday for court.
This is the perfect embodiment. The perfect embodiment of just what the boomer is. So I don't know if you were listening to that video as closely as I was. In the beginning of this video, you can hear the song White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane playing. Now, if you're unaware, Jefferson Airplane was a band, obviously in the 60s, 70s, blah, 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 and their song White Rabbit is probably their most famous song. But their performance at Woodstock of the song White Rabbit is historic. It's one of the most famous songs from Woodstock. The video of the performance is insane. You should go watch it. But it's epic. It's historic. It's a historic moment in rock and roll. And you have this boomer knowing she's being filmed, which at the time, not everybody had a video camera, blah, blah, blah. She's being taped. It's recorded to tape. And she is going on the most pointless, mind-numbing, droning drivel I have ever heard in my entire life. Talking about how colors equate to feelings and people being spaced out. And if jealousy's green and envy's red with her big fucking teeth. All she wants to do is hear herself talk, saying words. And then what she does, right? She makes the entire thing about her, because at the very end of it, she then whips it back around into, I miss my sister. She left me when I bought her the tickets. And the other thing about it is she has court and I have to be a good sister and get her home to court. She's talking over and making problems out of nothing, talking about herself, getting emotional, making everything about her, while at the same time, one of the most historic moments in music history is happening behind her. It is one of the most poetic examples of what the boomer is of all time. And every boomer talks about Woodstock. Woodstock, man. You guys do festivals now. It's nothing like Woodstock, man. We had Woodstock, man. And this is what they did at Woodstock. They took LSD and they all stared at each other and talked about how smart and groovy cats everybody was. This is what the boomer is. And this is what has seeped into contemporary America, into the contemporary West. We have everybody is a narcissist who thinks that they have figured it out, who thinks that their idea of the truth is the one. I'm on the case. I was told in a dream I'm the chosen one. I'm talking about myself while White Rabbit plays. I'm at the Minnesota Crab Boil and I think I think you're a Nazi Republican if you criticize him. So this is the example that was set to us. And it's a horrible example because they're all like this. Every boomer and a lot of the older Gen X's, this is what they are. They don't care about the truth because it's about them. They don't care about things that are bigger than them because it's about them. One thing I always try to do is to make the video about the source and about the truth, because I am reporting things to you that I think you will find interesting and giving my insight and my takes on the things. Every video I do has a source document, or lately it's been 3 or 4 source documents with them on the Patreon, so you can see where I'm getting all of the things that I'm talking about, so you know I'm not just having hunches. I'm not just having dreams. I think this is what it is. Because otherwise, it'll turn into Q. The truth seeking will turn into a QAnon-esque psyop where you have a bunch of people waiting to be saved by some triumphant hero, by the chosen one, right? The truth is what sets you free, not the person who presents the truth. And this is the issue that I see ongoing right now, is this whole thing has become a big cult of personality. Nick Shirley. It's Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley presented the truth. The reason that video did so well is because the video is attacking and hitting a truth frequency. It's attacking the lies and hitting a truth frequency. And people are like, we need to get Nick Shirley into California to clean up this ruckus, the ruckus that Gavin Newsom has started. No. What the fuck are you thinking? What are you talking about? I think Nick Shirley has great videos. I watch a ton of them. I have been watching him since he had about 100,000 subs. He's great. He's awesome. But Nick Shirley is not the answer. Nick Shirley uncovered the truth, which is awesome. But everybody is capable of doing that, which is something we're starting to see. There are now tons of investigative journalists that are instigating and looking into fraud all over the country. Investigating, not instigating. Investigating.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find the local daycares.
We already know about what's going on. This is a licensed property. If you have a complaint, go to the state.
Okay, I was trying to find out if you guys are a daycare. I was just trying to see.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. If you want to know any questions, just go online and ask who you need to ask. But
no, there's nobody online to ask, so I'm just trying to ask you guys.
No, you don't have to ask us anything.
I don't have to?
If you have any questions, go
I
to the
do.
state.
I have a question. I was just asking you guys.
And
Okay, you guys were listed on the website and a bunch of websites, so for daycares. So.
Oh, that's what it is. Then you don't need to go door to
It's
door.
yeah, no, you can. Yeah, I have. You can go door to door.
So if you have any questions, go call the child care check, and they'll give you whatever information that you need.
Okay, so you guys aren't a daycare then? Not a public daycare, right? Okay, I didn't think so.
Don't report our property either.
Oh, I can, yeah. So these ones were really hostile. I just knocked on the door just to see if it was a local daycare listed on the websites. She said contact the state. Interesting.
Now, this video showcased someone doing their own investigative journalistic work on a daycare that was listed as a public daycare, but really it was a private home. And this home, or I guess public daycare, had received over $1 million in benefits. And this is happening widespread all across the country. And you have people who are operating in these strange lanes in their own reality of, oh, this is racist. This is wrong. It's so fucking crazy. And right here, we're going to see another citizen journalist that's going to make some headway with this.
We got ring. So as you can see, no one here is answering. It's just past 10 a.m. right now. Hello, looking to get some information about childcare. Okay, so as you can see, I just asked about childcare. Is this childcare for children? It's not? Yeah, I just want to make sure this is Tawakkul House. Yes. Okay, just wanted to make sure. What's the email address? This is Marine Childcare here at 2918.
And you see the point. Every single time. It's every time. And these citizen journalists are getting to the bottom of it. And frankly, this is what we need. This is what we need. Real people on the ground showing the truth, that the system is being defrauded and somebody is benefiting at the top. These Somalians didn't come over knowing the system. Someone showed them how to do this, with the underlying defense being, you hate black Muslims. If you say anything, you're a racist who hates black Muslims. I've never even heard anybody talk about the Somalian population until this happened. No one gives a fuck about Somalians. Nobody cares. People care about the fraud, and the fraud is being brought to light. People care about the truth, and it's not just in real life. It's online too. People have found over 400 places in Columbus, Ohio, doing the same thing. This is a systemic issue. This is a massive problem in this country. This is bad. I don't know if you know that. This is bad. Fraud, bad. And citizen journalists are making this right by exposing this and bringing it to light. People care, and they don't like when their money is fucking stolen. In Shirley's video, he shows the documentation. He lists everything out. He discusses and showcases what is actually going on. He goes to the places. He does every single piece of work, and people are still in their own heads obfuscating, distorting, convincing themselves of whatever it is that they need to convince themselves of. People are literally saying it's not even real, that the fraud is fake, when Tim Waltz has came out and said himself that they've been investigating this for years. The one thing about the truth is it does not require a web of lies or even a web of stories to be held together, but lies absolutely do. Kind of like this next lie that is absolutely mind-blowing. This next one is absolutely insane. It gets funny. It's so crazy, it's funny.
Of what they say vandals did. Now, this is where they say the vandals got into the daycare through cinder block and appeared to be unsuccessful when trying many other ways. The daycare says it appears the vandals first tried to saw into the door of the Family Dollar next door in the shopping center, but that didn't work. The manager claims those who broke in went straight to the office, stealing information of the many children who were taken care of here.
We are not a part of any harmful things that are being said. We have no problem with CCAP, and our licensing has been good, even the inspections. I want to say no intimidation is going to stop us.
Are wearing $2,200 chrome heart glasses while talking about how people are breaking into their daycare facility. Money unearned is typically spent frivolously and without caution. And this is the case. Now, here's the funniest thing about this video. This is a daycare center that they claim somebody broke into and went into the office and stole the documentation out of the office. But earlier, they actually claimed that they stole the documents from inside of a hole in the wall. The story then changes that the hole in the wall is actually where the burglars came in from. But just wait, it gets even better. People investigated it, and the cuts of the sheetrock are actually coming from the inside of the building. So basically, they faked the break-in, and for some reason, these people stole only the student enrollment documentations. How strange is that? In 2025, where everything is so digital that they're starting to not outlaw, but take away cash. There's no more pennies, by the way. They're ending pennies. I don't know if you know that. There's no more pennies. Pennies are over. These people have no digital records of their student records, and the student records are only in a hole in the wall inside of their daycare center. First of all, how would the people know how to get into the break in and go to a hole in the wall to get the documents that later you say were in the office? My point is, this is how insane lies are becoming. When you tell the truth, it's really easy. It's really easy to look at a sheet of paper, see how much money these people are making, and then to arrive at the place to see if there are kids there. And there's not. That's how easy telling the truth is. It's 1, 2, 3. It's not it's not that. Because the truth will always be revealed, no matter what. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you a crazy story so you know, so you can get it. But the truth always comes out, even if it slips. It has to. It has to be revealed. Just like it does even when CBS comes and tries to run game for the Somalian financial terrorists.
Fraud? No, we're not committing fraud.
Hassan showed us security footage from the same day Shirley was here. According to the timestamps in the videos, this woman takes a young child into the center at around 9 a.m. that day, about 3 hours before Shirley arrives at the door closer to the street. Within the hour after Shirley leaves, a woman arrives at the other door with a stroller. A larger family heads inside a few hours.
Fraud? No.
So 4 children went in. One, who's to say that those children were even going into that one particular building, because within the building there are various offices and various things, so they might not have even been going to the daycare center. But let's look at this. CBS accidentally proves Somali daycare is committing fraud while trying to disprove what Nick Shirley reported on. It found that 4 children were there, but taxpayers are paying for 40. Is this daycare committing fraud? No, says the Somali. The citizen journalists are winning, right? And another thing I find so interesting is people who are running game saying whatever they need to say in order to just obfuscate the truth.
I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were around space concerns.
So now what they're trying to say is that Quality Learning Center was actually closed while Nick Shirley was reporting on it, which is really, really funny because the manager of Quality Learning Center actually says that they've been open. So now people within the government who are claiming that the Quality Learning Center was actually closed, it's being conflated and argumentative against people saying it's actually been open and running all along, and that Nick Shirley just so happens to show up there when there's no one there.
You were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're fried. Where are you? Why are you not here right now?
Interesting. So you were open when you were supposed to be closed, according to government officials. So which one is it? Which one is it? And that's not all, folks. The lies keep going, and it's not just lies. Now what's starting to happen is Freudian slips. A Freudian slip, or parapraxis, is an unintentional error in speech, memory, or action that reveals a hidden unconscious thought, desire, or feeling, according to Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory. While often humorous, these slips, like calling your spouse by an ex's name, might suggest repressed feelings that are surfacing, though modern psychology also attributes these to normal cognitive processes like linguistic glitches or inattention. Now, the interesting thing about this is there is, in my opinion, an esoteric, hidden sort of thing going on with this. The truth has to come out. There is no other option. There is no other way.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
My favorite is the self-hating white fatso behind her and then the Jew next to her.
And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud,
Fucking idiot. The truth always comes out. Will make itself known every single time. It's just all so symbolic. Self-hating white who then goes up and does the same Freudian slip after this Somalian reads off a part of the notes that she's not supposed to read. Apparently they had to write on her notes that fraud is bad. And here's the thing that I don't understand. Why is it so pivotal that the Somalians get all of this child care and all this other stuff? What about American citizens? What about literally the millions of us who they don't give a single fuck about? These people come into this country and they get every single thing, every single benefit. Right now, I'm going through something that whatever, but I am having a very hard time compared to my illegal counterparts. Let's just put it that way.
Unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. There were also
self-hating white women are absolutely the most mind-boggling creatures on the face of the fucking planet. One thing that's very interesting is typically these women do not have children, and what they do is they start to foster the children of the world, the migrants, the immigrants, people who are disenfranchised or othered typically. They actually have done studies on this, and they literally, their maternal instinct takes over, and they start to have these deranged leftist ideologies that are taking the place of what should be them rearing a child. And this is because they kill all of their children. 1/3 of Gen Z has actually been aborted, or what should have been Gen Z. They're all gone. They were sacrifices to Baal. And this is the case. More and more people who are pro-migration at all, in my opinion, I don't understand. I had some people asking me, well, what's more American than committing fraud and doing criminal activity? I don't know. I want none. I want zero. I don't care if you're legal or illegal. I don't want anybody. I don't think we need any more. The party's full. Party's over. Party is actually over. Because when you have people asking questions like this because of investigative journalism that citizens are beginning to do, you have a serious problem in your...
Who is he? Like, who gave this guy license to go around and say, I couldn't get in the daycare centers, the doors were locked. Like, nobody should be able to walk into a daycare center because the doors are locked. These random vigilante justice seekers who ordain themselves like some sort of law enforcement expert, like he's a random YouTuber. And I just find it laughable that the party of the self-proclaimed pro-life people are celebrating cutting off funding to children. White evangelical crowd who purports to uphold these Christian values are celebrating targeting communities because of their ethnicity and cutting off care to children.
And this is the funniest thing about this. She blames ethnicity and immediately makes it a race card. That's what they do when there's nothing else. When all else fails, make it a race thing. Tim Waltz did it. She's doing it. She's talking about white evangelicals and calling Nick Shirley a MAGA supporter, which is super funny because Nick Shirley is nonpartisan and has never, in any of the videos that I've seen, said that he is a MAGA person. He's investigating and reporting the truth. Now, if investigating and reporting the truth puts you onto a certain political side, that is different than approaching it from that side inherently. And from what I have seen, I have not seen Nick Shirley do that. Now, he has been at certain not events, but like he's spoken to Trump about certain things that he has reported on, certain protests, but at no point is he like wearing a MAGA hat and acting like he's MAGA. It's so fucking deranged. Like, these are the lies. This is the intricate web that these people weave. throwing in a political party that I don't think he's ever said that he's a part of, throwing in the pro-choice thing as if that has anything to do with it. Black women are the ones who kill more children than anybody else. What does this have to fucking do with anything? Bringing pro-choice into it. You know, this woman is so stupid. She can't even see that the whole point of abortion is to actually lower the black population. That's the reason that Planned Parenthood was actually enacted by the individuals who are basically committing a soft eugenics program. But you can't zoom out far enough to see that. Definitely not. It's gotta be because of race and racism.
Make yourself comfortable. There's a couch over there.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. I had Cephas answer some questions from a Harvard test known as unrest. It is designed to measure someone's level of social resistance.
Social resistance.
When people like us oppose the values and policies of the dominant culture.
That's right.
And what does that have to do
Your son, he feels threatened on a daily basis. Like everything he's earned can just be taken away. He's disenfranchised. But because his life is seemingly free from all this, because he can't name it, he's internalizing it.
Name what?
Racism. I think your son's tumor was caused by racism.
That's what it's gotta be, right? Nobody is willing to die for a lie. I'm going to tell you that right now. And when you see things like this is not a joke. They actually want to kill me. In all seriousness, please include me in your prayers. This is a message to Nick Shirley that says this is going to be you on April 27th, 2026 in a muddy ditch alongside the highway. Enjoy your last couple of months, buddy. This is someone who is dead. I don't understand this. Politicizing everything is one way to obfuscate, the truth. The fraud being committed is the problem. The problem is the lies. The problem is the corruption. It doesn't matter what side is doing it. It doesn't matter if it's Somalis or white people. It doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that it's happening. It is so crazy to be a truth seeker and to have people telling me that I'm a Trump lackey or whatever else when the whole point is to get to the truth. And anybody who is trying to obfuscate that by pigeonholing someone into basically typecasting them as something they may or may not be, you're a part of the lie. You are that of the Antichrist. That which is anti-truth is that of the spirit that is Antichrist. That's what that is. And these people can't even see it. These people cannot even see it. And it's so crazy. It's so destructive. And that's why it operates and that's why it works. That's why it works. And frankly, I think that if you are somebody who has such a problem with a political party or a political or an individual or anything, that if they are telling the truth and it's able to be proved that you have to obfuscate that because of something that they might be affiliated with, you have an issue. You're crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's craziness. I was a lifelong Democrat. I started my voting career. I voted for Obama when I was a freshman in college. I voted for Barack Obama. My first time I could ever vote. I voted all blue every single time. Things then changed in my political leanings because of the truth. I couldn't deny the things that I was seeing any longer, and things have changed. And now, because of what I've seen, I am apolitical. I did not vote in 2024 because of what I saw happen in 2020. So people who are just immediately in this false binary, this false dichotomy, you are low IQ. That's what that is. That is being a low IQ individual. And here is just another example of the intricate web of lies that these people tell themselves in order to be able to live in reality at all. Let's watch this next lie.
Why was the word learning misspelled?
That was a printing error.
And how long was it that way?
I don't know, but the printer, now that you guys have put the the printer at bay. Now the printer is reprinting that up again. So sometimes it's just hard to get printers to come out in the wintertime as the weather changes to put up new signage and things of that nature.
Right.
And because we had different types of weather elements going on, it was just delayed. But for the simple fact, just because it is a misprint, everyone is taking that out of content.
It looks like it's fixed now, though. And who are these people here?
People. People, American. Oh, they're people.
Well, that looks like some daycare kids.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know why y'all thinking kids are not coming. Like y'all are out here like they're not, like kids are not coming.
Why was the word learning misspelled?
That was a printing error.
So it was a printing error for 8 years. Just so you know, that printing error was there for 8 years. And apparently it's hard to find printers in the middle of winter in Minneapolis. But then, after this becomes a nationwide problem and it's exposed to the entire country, suddenly they have it fixed within 24 hours. These are the games. These are the mental gymnastics that make people who are really interested in the truth and really interested in what's going on feel like they're going fucking crazy. Maybe I'm just a racist for noticing. Trump tweeted this photo saying windmills are killing all of our beautiful bald eagles. The bird shown is not a bald eagle, and the windmills are actually interesting. Let's look at this a little bit deeper. It also shows the number 9/11 in the bottom corner. You can't really see it, but it's there. It does say 9/11. And in addition to this, there is the number 13 on one of these windmills. Many people are interpreting this as Trump saying that Israel did 9/11. Others are relating this and the number 13 to this little fact. The fact that Bill Clinton is set to testify against, well, I don't know about against.
The rest of this video can be found exclusively on my Patreon. I'll see you over there. It's a good one.